hello friends, and also, hello enemies. In this case, my enemy is this insanely large Ninja Turtles box. It took kind of a long time, but we finally got our Mezco Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And as you can see, the box is much too big to fit in my review space, so we're going to do this a little bit differently today. Banana for scale, whiskey for scale, coffee for scale. This will be a bit of an atypical unboxing. I'm going to transfer this to the table and we'll take a look at what's inside. And I assume that will be turtles. Blahage. So here we've got our outrageously large box. Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On the back you get a handy diagram of everything this box set comes with. So this is a slipcover. You can lift it up to reveal Scout. Hey, Scout. But no, not really. Lift it up to reveal the box underneath. So you can have two box options. You can have this box with the artwork on the front, or this slipcover box with the figures on the front. So this is everything you get inside that box. You get two different clamshells full of turtles and turtley goodness. And then you get all this stuff. And there's even more under that. This is going to be a long review, I think. It is just a ton of stuff. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our little turtle friends into the review space, look at them first, and then go through a truly absurd amount of accessories. I hope you will join me on this journey. Alright, here we are in the review room. Back in my element. That's a joke, because I'm never in my element. I don't even know what my element is. It's not turtles, I'll tell you that. Patrick is the Ninja Turtles fan, looking forward to these like crazy. I've never seen him so excited about something. He may very well love these more than he loves me, and that might be warranted. I'm going to find out. So first things first, getting them out of the package. They don't want to stand up right away. They all kind of lean forward, so you kind of have to finagle them into position. They still have a problem with wanting to fall over, which is strange to me because their feet are so huge. But I guess the shells add a lot of weight. Speaking of weight, they aren't that heavy. They're more lightweight than I thought, which will be good for posing, but there's definitely a central mass. So not too heavy, not light as a feather, perfectly balanced, as all things must be. Of course, a big draw of these guys was having a unique sculpt and color scheme for all of these. Some parts might be reuse among the four, but you can definitely tell they each kind of have their own physique. Raph, for instance, is the thickest of the boys. Donatello, it looks a little bit scrawny compared to the rest of them. But yeah, even the skin texture is different. Like if you look at Raph's shoulder here, he's got kind of a bumpier skin texture at the front of the shoulder, whereas Donatello's is wrinklier. They each have unique head sculpts, slightly different heads. You've got Michelangelo with a bit of a narrower head. Raphael, again, is a thick boy with a thick head. It may not come across well on video, and it is a little bit subtle in person, but I do like that we get such differences across the board. But not too different. You can tell they're all still brothers. One thing to be aware of is that we saw someone on Discord saying that the paint tends to flake off the plastron of the shells, especially on Mikey and Raph. So we're going to be on the lookout for that today. I am noticing some paint chipping off even just from the minor movements I've been subjecting them to, but that might just be from the joints. Paint often flakes off of joints across a wide variety of toys, so that's usually not a problem. We'll keep an eye out. So they also have their own unique belt configurations. Raph has more pouches on his because he's a 90s kid, I guess. 90s pouch joke. Donnie and Leo get these straps across the chests. I do like the variety in these guys. So if we look at the backs, this is where a turntable would come in handy, huh? Raphael's belt is a little bit loose. There we go, buddy. There we go. We even get some unique markings on the shells. There are scars in different places. Each one is weathered differently. So yeah, it's cool that they're just not the same across the board, is what I've taken 5 minutes trying to say. Now for articulation, they should all be about the same. Let's look at Donatello. Should have pretty good head movement because it's got not only a neck joint, but no hair to get in the way. I find that hair is usually the biggest limiter of head articulation. Turtles have no hair, not even Mutant Ninja Turtles. This neck joint is being a little bit dramatic. I like the way it moves, but when you tilt it back, it kind of like wants to stutter and go back farther than I want it to. Leaves a little gap. I don't think that's a problem. I am trying to be gentle with these because they are A, expensive, B, not mine. Patrick has been waiting with bated breath for these for so long, and if the first thing that happened to them is I break them, then I'm not gonna say I'd be in trouble because our relationship doesn't work like that, but he'd be sad and I'd feel really guilty. So the pads here are on an elastic band, so they won't get in the way of articulation. You might want to be careful about moving them too much because over time elastic does degrade. Pretty good articulation. I mean, it is a Mezco, and Mezcos do tend to have good articulation. Usually the only thing limiting a Mezco is the cloth goods, and we don't have much of a problem with that here because these turtles are naked. You've got twist on the arm, up and down, bicep. Yep, we got some bicep movement. That's a double elbow. If you move the pad, you can see that. We've got 2 joints at the wrist. Of course, no midsection articulation because it's a turtle. What were you expecting? The leg kind of wants to splay out to the side, but it can go pretty high, which is good for your ninja action. It can't go back very far either because the back of the shell gets in the way. But you do get a pretty good knee there. And a huge joint on that ankle. So much like the wrist, not only do you have a joint at the top of the thigh, but you get one right below it that swivels. So yeah, there's a lot of different parts here that make for a wide range of action. I will say that I wish the foot moved a little bit more. Feels a little limited. It can't really move that far back. There's not much of a rocker. I mean, it's okay, but it will likely suit your purposes. I'm bad at posing, but even I am able to pretty effortlessly get this into an appropriate ninja pose. So they should all be like that within reason. I noticed that on Raph, his head wants to move around more as opposed to his neck, where on Donnie, it's definitely the neck that wants to move more. Raph's neck is thicker, so I don't think you're gonna get as much out of it, but his head definitely wants to move around more. They really do not like to stand up, though. I don't know if it's just me doing a bad job. I just feel like with those big old feet, they should stand up easily. So right now they have pretty default, like, angry battle expressions, but they do each come with 3 other heads, I think. Honestly, these guys look so good. I'm not even, as you guys know, a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I'm more like a casual enjoyer. I have a favorite turtle. I know some of the side characters. I really enjoyed Mutant Mayhem, but I kind of missed the train on Ninja Turtles. It was both before and after my time. But these guys, I really, really enjoy. Their belts do have a bit of a problem, I've noticed, wanting to stay up, especially the ones that don't have a harness attached. There's elastic underneath that faux leather to give it a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of extra grip, but it does want to fall down pretty easily. So far, haven't had any paint issues besides what's fallen from the joints, so that's nice. So now that we've explored looks and articulation, it's time to move on to what will easily take the most amount of time for this review, the accessories, because you guys saw, there's so many. Alright, so we get 2 extra head portraits per turtle. I don't know why I said 3. I think it's because it shows 3 on the back of the box, but 1 is just the ones they already come with. So you get 2 character appropriate portraits per turtle. Some really playful ones for Mikey. These are super cute. They did a really good job on the whites of his eyes. Look at his little tongue, so adorable. He gets the most playful expressions by far. The other ones are a bit serious. Of course, Michelangelo is the clown. Even I know that. Raph is only angry. He only gets angry head portraits. Got an open mouth yelling one, a teeth gritted one. Once again, no 2 heads are the same. Donatello's got a bit more of a beak than the other turtles. He's got kind of a bemused expression and then a smirk. Kind of the most neutral out of all the turtles. And then you got Leo, the very staunch, leaderly expression, and another mouth open yelling expression. The only one that doesn't have a mouth open expression is Donatello, and I can respect that. Some people are incapable of yelling. I feel like I can count myself among them. My voice just doesn't want to project. Yelling seems like a lot of work. I'd rather just quietly seethe. So you can take the ties out of the back of their heads and insert them on the alternate heads. but they each also come with a longer tie. So you get longer ties in each of the 4 colors. Just depends on what aesthetically you want. I think I prefer the longer ties, but they might get in the way of action scenes. It just depends on your preference and what you want out of it. But it is really nice to have that option. You also get a wide variety of hands, and the poses of the hands are basically going to vary based on what their weapon is. You also get some really cool weapon effects. And we'll take a better look at these later, but these are some effects that can plug into the weapons. So you'll also get 1 piece of pizza per turtle. You get 2 regular pieces and 2 very cheesy pieces. This looks delicious. I'm having pizza later tonight. I hope it looks exactly like this, except larger and not made of plastic. You'll get a cool Walkman, specially designed for turtle ears. You get this grappling hook, cleverly disguised as a turtle shell. You press up on this, boing. So you get 4 of these, 1 per turtle. You also get 4 ropes with a little hook. Just clip that onto your grappling hook. Very cute. And then pull down to retract. You also get 4 turtle communicators, and these are similarly designed to where you lift them up, reveal the communicator, and the little antenna come out. Of course, we are far from done. Would a turtle be a turtle without its weapons? I've already made a bit of a mess of this clamshell, but here we have Leo's weapons, we have his katana, we've got 2 sheaths, we've got climbing claws, some kunai, and what looks to be a hook thingy. The katanas and the sheaths are beautifully detailed. Ooh, hard to hold on to. There's even some weathering on the blade itself. Slip that right into the sheath. Looks really good. So each turtle should have room on their person to store their weapons. And that looks really good. These turtles already looked awesome. They're going to look even better with their weapons attached. Like I said, I'm not even a turtle super fan, but these are some great turtles. So here we've got a Raph clamshell because it comes with his size. It also comes with a hand dagger, 2 tonfa, some throwing stars, another one of those clips. We've got a throwing star effect, and I'm assuming this is one of the ones that just fits into their hands. And he gets a hat. I think any turtle could wear this hat, but I think it belongs specifically to Raph. The hat also has its own plug in the back, so you don't risk it coming off. It just plugs into where those sashes go. So he's got this little pocket in the back. I don't know what that's for, but it's not open all the way. I guess that's for the throwing stars, maybe? But he's also got this little holster for his size. Very cute. I mean, cool. Very cool. Sorry, Raph. Very cool and intimidating. Moving on to Mikey. We've got 2 nunchaku with chains. The chains are pretty interlocked. Then we've got individual nunchucks without the chain. Some throwing darts, another hand dagger, a kyoketsu shoge, another clip, and a nunchuck twirling effect. Ooh, actually we get 2 of those. 2 nunchuck twirling effects, that's pretty neat. And lastly, Donatello's clamshell. Sounds like a shady club. Or maybe like a high-end restaurant. It's either a shady club or a high-end restaurant. There's nothing in between. We get another kyoketsu shoge, another push dagger, some more kunai, another clip, his bow staff, of course. Very cool looking night vision goggles. Specifically formulated for a turtle head. And this thing! I don't know what it is. It says on the back of the box, but I forgot. Some kind of a computer device. It looks like you just slip it onto his arm. He grips it here, but yeah, you can open and lower that pad there. Reminds me of a 3DS. Do you remember those? Man, this is gonna be a long-ass review. I apologize in advance, except now you're already halfway through it, so you might as well stick around. Yep, that looks pretty cool. Okay, so part of this channel is that I'm opening this up and learning about it along with you guys. Regular watchers will know that. and they won't fault me for when I get things wrong. The nunchaku I put in Mikey's holsters were actually pieces that plug into this effect right here. These are the ones that belong in the holsters, and it's not that the chain is interlocked together. There's a wire in there. So you could have them straight, or you could have them curved. You do kind of want to work within the confines of the chain itself. You don't want to break anything. It is real metal, but there's still small links. I do find that Mikey's, his belt wants to frequently fall down. But I wanted to look at some of the alternate hands and accessories and effects pieces and show you guys what we've got going on. So the hands and the heads were so easy to switch out. Just a pleasure to swap. Got this really cool nunchuck effect and this delicious looking pizza, and you've got a very happy looking Michelangelo. Honestly, adorable. Leo gets some cool effects for his katana. There's also these thrown kunai effects, which can be given to any turtle. Once again, head and hands were very easy to swap out. The bandana ties, also very easy to swap out. I haven't had any problems with this line so far. For Donatello, you've got this nice blow effect. You also have a blow and slash effect, and it's pretty easy to maneuver him into position to where he can hold his bow staff in both hands. So this isn't the best posing. It doesn't really make much sense, but Raphael's sai have this hit effect. He's also got this throwing sai effect. So yeah, you have so many options to have these guys in really epic fight scenes. Of course, as you guys saw, they're not just limited to their own weapons. They can use those daggers, those kunai, throwing stars, all sorts of things. They've got an arsenal at their disposal. But we're not done yet. Soft goods. Lots of soft goods for creatures that are typically naked. This looks like a Michelangelo type of deal. Very cute hoodie, got a real working zipper. When it's on, it is pretty adorable. It's a bit of a pain to get on, but yeah, it's very cute. You can zip it up. I'm not sure which outfit is specific to which turtle. I assume this is his, and I assume that that trench coat and hat belonged to Raph, because he had that look in the movie, right? But ostensibly, they could all wear each other's clothes. Alright, we've got turtles in soft goods. I don't know if the cloaks are correct, like if I have the right cloak on the right turtle. Probably not. But does it really matter? No, not really. For the cloaks, you do have to remove their heads first. Slip the cloak on, put the head back on. Not a problem, though. And they look really good. The edges of the cloaks and the scarf and the trench coat are wired. We also get a second scarf that is black and tattered. So in addition to all that, with each turtle, you get a bag to put accessories in, and you get stands. So 4 stands coordinating with each turtle's colors. I like the look of these. Patrick doesn't like them, but I like them. They're very bright and appealing to me. So you can attach the turtles using these little pegs, or knock out the pegs and put in these plastic clear stands instead. Alright, let's do a quick comparison corner. Here they are with NECA Splinter, and that looks pretty good. Pretty decent size-wise when you factor in Splinter being a wizened old rat. Works stylistically too. Mutant Mayhem Raphael from Playmates. Super cheap toys, super cheap quality. Loved the movie though. You can see that the Mezco turtles are several steps above, but I do like these Mutant Mayhem designs. Knockoff NECA Barrage Turtle. Fits in pretty well with the others. Definitely has that comic book look going on as opposed to realism. Well, stylized realism. We've got a big boy in the form of Fury Planet Crocker, which I've been told may or may not be a knockoff of Leatherhead. Stylistically works pretty well with these guys. Size-wise works too, because I think if Leatherhead is meant to be a bit bigger than them. They are teenagers after all. We've got Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, Lynxion, I think is his name. He's a lynx man. Fits in pretty well with them. You got turtle boys and lynxmen. I don't know if I'd like to live in that reality, but it would be interesting. Turtle boys and lynxmen. Here we have an articulated icon's Swoosh Ninja. Turtles seem quite a bit more bulky than him, but they are, mutants, and also turtles. turtles tend to be pretty thick. Here we have NECA Utrom. Weirdly, they all go together okay. Weirdly kind of works, even with the cell shading, I think because it's a robot. Super 7 Rocksteady, and he is so large he doesn't want to fit in my frame. He works pretty well too. The turtles are a bit more detailed than him. A bit more grungy, but size-wise it seems pretty good. And lastly, but not leastly, Hasbro Power Rangers Shredder. Also, weirdly, works pretty good with them. And with that, we are pretty much done. It only took several hours. For real though, this was one of the larger toy sets that I've ever reviewed. And you know what? It wasn't as bad as I was anticipating because these really are delightful. I ran into only a few problems. The parts are easy to change out. They are easy to pose. We don't have any weird loose joints or joints that are too tight. No obvious QC issues that I can see. We are getting a little bit of paint rub on Michelangelo. You can kind of see it at the edge of his shell. We've discussed it, and part of it might be the sealer they used. Another part of it is that both Raph and Mikey, their belts just want to come off, and you always have to be like pushing them back up. They don't have the harnesses like these two. So that's just going to create more friction and more flaking. So that's definitely something to be aware of. So far, it's not awful, but with enough irritation, it could be. So yeah, if you are a TMNT fan, I highly recommend these. I don't know if they're available. I don't think they are. You can't get them from Mezco anymore. You're going to have to get them from a store that has them in stock, or a reseller. Yeah, I know. And they're going to run pretty expensive. Mezco tends to do reissues, so they might reissue these in a different variant. I am typically a Mezco fan. I am a pseudo TMNT enjoyer. Also a big fan of toys that look great, have a ton of fun accessories, and aren't terrible to move around. And these guys fit the bill. They're great. That sounded really insincere, but I am being sincere. I really like them. So I don't know how long this review is going to end up being. Hopefully not too long. I hope you guys stuck around. As always, likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome, and I'll see you guys on the next one.